What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother. Yes, Sirski. Hello, somebody. All right, man. So we got today's video was about gospel singer Donnie McClurkin, bro. I said blow. So the title of the video says, "Whose gospel artist just got exposed and it's really bad?" Now this is on the Truth Is podcast, which he has some great information. So shout out to the Truth Is podcast. I think it was somebody came out and said that Donnie McClurkin, let's see, surrendered in Oklahoma on child sexual. Okay, something with SA abuse by assistant. Okay, gospel singer Donnie McClurkin sued for SA abuse by assistant. Okay, guess what it is? McClurkin, 66, faces all allegations of sexual. So it's a sexual assault case that he's facing. We're going to cover this with the story. We're going to find out some more details about it. Man, let's get it. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button and subscribing, commenting as well. I love reading you guys' comments. They are amazing. Keep them coming. They be funny sometimes. Sometimes they be funny. Sometimes they be like, okay, meet me in the parking lot after the show. You feel me? So, but we're going to jump straight into it, man.
Gospel singers are expected to operate on a level of moral standards that most artists aren't held to, especially when that gospel singer is also a minister who leads a megachurch. But in recent years, we have started to see more and more religious leaders get exposed for being more depraved than the sinners they tend to condemn. That is such the case with Donnie McClurkin, a multi-Grammy winning gospel artist and megachurch minister who is considered one of the biggest urban gospel singers of all time. Donnie built himself an empire on his image of a godly man who used his gift for God. But while Donnie pretended to be a man of God, it now seems he was nothing but a fraud, a wolf in sheep's clothing, as the gospel legend was recently accused of disturbing allegations in a shocking lawsuit. A lawsuit that not only accuses him of grooming, but also of R-wording his former male personal assistant. Now, everyone is stuck wondering if Donnie McClurkin was ever a man of God, or if he was just a devil in disguise the whole time. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about Donnie McClurkin's lawsuit. Let's get right into it.
That's crazy.
In the world of gospel music, Donnie McClurkin is a superstar. He is a 3-time Grammy Award winner, known for his hit songs like Wait on the Lord and I'll Fly Away. He is also one of the top-selling gospel artists of all time, with over 10 million albums sold worldwide. On top of this, he is also a well-respected minister and the founder and senior pastor of Perfecting Faith Church, located in Freeport, New York. This made Donnie McClurkin a prominent figure in the Christian world, with many Christians looking up to him and following his ministry. So you could only imagine how betrayed Christians felt when they saw this godly man they looked up to was being accused of the unthinkable. Just a few days ago, Donnie McClurkin was sued by his former personal assistant, Giuseppe Carletto. Carletto accused Donnie of grooming him over the course of years and eventually essaying and even R-wording him. Believe it or not, this all goes back over 25 years to the 2000s, and I'll explain.
See, that's the thing that gets me with these assault cases. These victims, I feel bad for the victims, of course. But over 25, bro, you mean to tell me you was getting sexually essayed for over 25 years, bro? And you was afraid to speak out? 25, bro. That's a long time. I'm just saying now.
Why? In 2001, Donnie McClurkin released an autobiography called Eternal Victim, Eternal Victor. In this autobiography, McClurkin shocked the world when he publicly detailed his history of same-sex attractions. Donnie claimed that he was a victim of SA as a child, which led him to developing an attraction to men. He claimed his orientation was a pathology and a curse caused by the childhood SA. But according to Donnie, he had been delivered from liking men through prayer. After this revelation, this became a part of his Christian image. A man who experienced abuse as a child and was severely affected by it to the point that it altered his sexuality. He went on to pray his way to deliverance from the trauma and sin that came attached to his SA experience. This made Donnie the face of Christians who overcame their trauma and homosexual desires through prayer. In 2003, following the success of his autobiography, McClurkin began providing spiritual guidance to individuals seeking to overcome homosexuality like him. He would allegedly tell those who sought his guidance that they had to pray the gay away, offering them private sessions where he taught others how he overcame his unwanted desires. Which brings us to the lawsuit that was filed by one of his former personal assistants, who took on the spiritual challenge of praying the gay away. Giuseppe Corelletto recently filed the lawsuit against Donnie McClurkin, accusing him of using those private pray the gay away sessions to groom and eventually R-word him. The story goes back to the early 2000s.
Oh, so he did it the reverse way. He called it the pray the gay away sessions. The whole time he probably like testing them. The people that's in the sessions, he's probably like grabbing on their butts or kissing on them or doing whatever just to see how they react. Bro, Donnie think he's smart, bro. He called it a pray the gay away session the whole time. He the one that wanted. That sap sucker.
After Donnie released his autobiography, Corelletto purchased a book and connected with it because he himself dealt with a similar experience. So he decided to attend one of McClurkin's events. Giuseppe was brought to meet with McClurkin after the event, and the man took an immediate interest in him. According to Corelletto, it was all very innocent at first and what he thought was just mentoring. Because of this connection, Corelletto, then 21, joined McClurkin's Perfecting Faith Church in Long Island. Having struggled with his sexuality, he saw guidance from McClurkin, who had famously claimed to be delivered from his homosexuality in his 2001 autobiography. The suit alleges that McClurkin used private spiritual healing or pray the gay away sessions to begin essaying Corelletto, specifically by groping his privates without consent. Eventually, Corelletto became McClurkin's personal assistant in 2004 after spending a lot of time with the singer. The lawsuit alleges that not long after this, the abuse escalated to unspeakable levels during a business trip. The first incident allegedly happened in California back in 2007. While the two were alone in a hotel room, the gospel singer and pastor made his move and allegedly R-worded him. What's disturbing is that Corelletto's then girlfriend was also on the trip. After this, McClurkin allegedly continued to R-word Corelletto on several occasions, with the assaults reportedly occurring in Atlantic City, Manhattan.
How can a man R-word another strong grown man? How, bro? That's the part I don't get. And multiple times? And he's still alive? Bro, even if you, bro, something crazy about this
Boston,
story.
Florida, and Niagara Falls, as well as at McClurkin's home in Rockville Center, Long Island, all happening over the course of 8 years. The lawsuit alleges that McClurkin would also routinely grope Corelletto secretly before preaching, which would often lead to Corelletto breaking out crying during the service. The lawsuit states that if McClurkin noticed Corelletto crying during the service, he would use his tears to encourage the congregation to express their own emotions. Corelletto also accused McClurkin of biblical coercion, claiming every time he attempted to quit working for him, McClurkin used biblical manipulation, comparing their bonds to prophets like Elijah and Elisha, to convince Corelletto that his spiritual deliverance and purpose were tied to staying in this relationship. Corelletto claims to have undeniable proof of McClurkin's disturbing behavior, claiming to have an email sent from McClurkin apologizing for his disturbing behavior, going as far as to call himself a dirty old man in the email. The email read, "I am actually the epitome of a desperate dirty old man, pawning and groping a young man. I feel so foul, so stupid." The email allegedly continued, "I was horribly wrong trying to force you into something that you were consistently saying no to." It's crazy to think that a renowned gospel singer and pastor would be dumb enough to act like this, knowing that a scandal like this is career-ending for a man like him. This is just another instance of a religious leader using the gospel to take advantage of someone seeking guidance. This is truly disturbing in so many ways. A clear instance of a wolf in sheep's clothing. A man who pretended to be a representative of the gospel, but in reality was a fraud, using the word of God to feed his perverted desires. It's even more disturbing that he used his past as a victim of SA to lure victims who were dealing with the same thing. Also, he could allegedly take advantage of them. McClurkin eventually responded to the allegations with the same generic response we always see. His legal team, led by attorney Gregory S. Lisi, released a formal statement in response to the abuse allegations. They said this: at no time did Pastor McClurkin engage in any form of SA, assault, or sexual coercion of Mr. Corletto. The claims outlined in this lawsuit grossly mischaracterized their interactions, which occurred over a decade and some accusations over 2 decades ago. All these allegations are contradicted by the real facts. While the lawyers called the allegations lies, they skipped over the email that was sent by the singer where he apologized and called himself a dirty old man. I believe the email is pretty much the nail in the coffin, as people only apologize when they have done something wrong. This email clearly shows guilt. The fact that his legal team didn't address the email head on might suggest that the email is real. Think about it. Usually, that would be the first thing the legal team leads with when challenging the allegations. What godly religious figure would call themselves a dirty old man and then apologize for doing something evil? To me, this pretty much proves that McClurkin's entire public persona was a lie for the last 25 years. He likely never stopped being interested in men and just hid his true desires with the Pray the Gay Away story, which also means his entire ministry is all a giant fraud. He probably doesn't even believe in God, just another fraud milking God's people. This is why it's important not just to follow any spiritual leader claiming to have the answers. Time after time, many of them prove they are just taking advantage of God's people, knowing that Christians have a big heart and tend to trust more easily. Donnie McClurkin made himself a multi-millionaire by fooling God's people, charging $50,000 to speak at events, all while being one big fraud. We recently saw a similar instance of a massive spiritual leader being exposed for taking advantage of people using the gospel. Former Trump spiritual advisor and Texas megachurch founder Robert Morris pleaded guilty to 5 felony counts of lewd or indecent acts with a person who wasn't of age in October 2025 and was sentenced to serve 6 months in jail. The charges stem from abuse that began on Christmas night in 1982 when the victim, Cindy Kleschmeyer, was 12 years old and Morris was 21 and a traveling evangelist staying with her family in Oklahoma. As part of a plea agreement reached in October 2025, Morris received a 10-year suspended sentence but was ordered to serve an initial 6 months in county jail. He was also required to register as an offender and pay $250,000 in restitution to the victim. Just like McClurkin, Morris used his position as a religious leader to fulfill his wicked desires. A religious leader that ended up standing alongside of the President of the United States. In the case of Morris, there is no speculation. He took a plea deal and confirmed that he did in fact do the horrible things he was accused of. This is the reality with many of these religious leaders. They wear Christianity like a mask to hide who they truly are, allowing them to bring down people's defense and make them comfortable all so they can take advantage of them. I don't think it's a coincidence that many of the most corrupt pastors end up becoming the most influential. It's the devil's way of infiltrating the church and attacking God's real followers from within. This is what I believe Donnie McClurkin was being used for, a puppet to destroy God's movement from within. These are the ones that are the most important to expose, as they are the enemy that has successfully infiltrated the army of God. It's crazy to think that back in 2007, Donnie McClurkin was once removed from an Obama presidential campaign event because of his anti-gay stance, only for it to turn out that he was essentially gay himself the whole time. Truly one of the biggest frauds I have seen in a while. Well, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know in the comment section. Before you guys...
Man. Boy, that's exactly why, man. That's exactly why a lot of people say nowadays, bro, that they're more spiritual. They're not religious, you know. Because of things that take place like this in the church, man. It seems like there's a lot of things going on now, more nowadays with this new generation and the times compared to when I was growing up, when grandma and them was in church, you know. I didn't say those type of things weren't taking place, but not as critical and more serious as these things. Yeah, back in them days, Pastor Paul was sleeping with another lady in the church, but not men, grown men. Bro, that is diabolical, man. That make you don't want to go to church at all. 0 attendance. Count me out. But that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But everything comes to the light, bro. There's a God that sits high and look low. And he reign on the just and the unjust. So they all gonna get where they come from. They're gonna bust the gates up wide open if there is a hell. Hello, somebody.